10 things that we think that you need to do as homework assignment from today. And so the first one, and this is a message not just for the principals in the practice, but for everybody who's here, is that there's a leadership issue. And we are going to finish off today talking about the involvement of your team in this process and the way that it's human beings that make this happen and not systems. And so it's really essential that there's an enormous amount of leadership in terms of the development of your brand and also in the terms of the evolution of your brand. You can see how passionate James is about his business. You can see how passionate James is about the innovation that takes place in his business. He delegates this work, but he's right in the middle of it as a leader. So he's not a control freak, he's not a micromanager, far from it. He's very good at leadership, but he's leading constantly the team of people that are doing these things. And so if the boss is passionate about this, then everybody else is going to get inspired and passionate about it as well. It reminds me of a very good friend of mine, a business coach by the name of Michael Bungay Stanier, who works in Toronto, and his mission statement on his website is wonderful. It's my favourite. He says, "My mission is to infect 1 billion people with the possibility virus." What a fabulous mission statement for a business. And I think that what James does, and he does it uniquely well, I would say, within my client base, is that he has the ability to infect his team with the possibility virus that Bow Lane could be and can be the best dental practice in Britain. That's when I go to their sessions and I meet with his team on a regular basis. That's the mindset. You know, they're not going for good, they're going for best every single time in everything that they do. And I think you can go away from today with that inspirational attitude towards this. You've got a hell of a job on when you get back in on Monday and somebody says, well, how was Friday? And you've got 2 minutes to try and explain it before the first patient comes. You go, it was very good. So what's going to have to happen is that over the next 3, 6, 9, 12 months, you're going to have to lead everybody in your team with your passion for this project. In so doing, what you're going to have to say to your team is that there's no point in us embarking upon this pathway unless our intention is to become unique within our area. That can be unique within our area of expertise or unique within our geographical area, that we're going to be the best at this within our location. Needless to say, everybody, James has got the cleaner involved in this process. And it's because of that, it's not just the fact that the cleaner feels empowered and a part of the team, but it's the fact that everybody else in the team sees him empowering the cleaner. And so there's a kind of a very, very virtuous circle that's going on where everybody's seeing that there's no hierarchy as far as enthusiasm is concerned. You can't be any more or less enthusiastic. James is enthusiastic, but the cleaner's enthusiastic as well as much as James is. What a fantastic thing that is, and what a fantastic place to work. To advance the idea, it's about, in actual fact, innovation, 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 innovation. Let me tell you the history of the iPhone app. Kimberly Black, the lady that developed these iPhone apps, has been my IT backstage lady. You know, the architect that we talked about. Kimberly's been my architect for the various websites I've had over the years for about 12 years now. She lives in San Diego in California. We're 8 hours apart in time zones. The last time I physically met her was 7 years ago, because you don't need to physically meet to do these things. But Kim rang me, gosh, it must have been about 4 or 5 months ago now, and said, I've just got an iPhone app developer's license. Can I build you an iPhone app, because I need to trial and error it? And so we did a little iPhone app, which is nothing like as good as James's. Mine, you can read my blog, you can see a few videos and a few things. And so we played around with that, and I spoke to a few people, and I actually wrote a blog post to say I've got this lady that's developing iPhone apps. Now, I've got about 500 people a day reading my blog. I've got 900 friends on Facebook. I've got 2,000 people reading my newsletter. One human being contacted me and said, can I have the contact details for Kim Black? And it was him. Out of all those people that I've dealt with over the years, one human being advance the idea, and one human being is just about to launch the first iPhone app in dentistry worldwide. Because at least he had the balls and the passion to actually get off his arse and do something about it. So why does it only have to be one person that can run with that? And I'd like you to get as enthusiastic about your business as James is about his. Number 6, empower your ambassadors, and they're the internal and the external people that are going to make this project work. I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. You cannot do this by yourself. Whether you're a principal or a practice business manager, you cannot do this by yourself. You've got to put together a team of people that are going to help you to move this forward. Whether it's graphic designers, branding consultants, web designers, all those people that we talked about on the list. Of course, I'm going to say you'd need a business coach, wouldn't you? But, you know, I'm not the only business coach in Britain, and not everybody likes me. So if you don't like me, number 1, I'm over it. Number 2, go and find a business coach that you do like. You know, I was chatting to Jane Laline at the dentistry show the other day, and I said to Jane, what's the profile of your ideal client? She said, people that don't like you. And, you know, I'm mates with Jane enough to know that is actually the right answer, because they call me Marmite. That's my nickname. Deliver systems. That's the patient journey systems that are on brand. The way we answer the phone, the way we greet and meet, the way we conduct the treatment consults, the assessments, and the conversations around the treatment plans. Make that part of your brand standards. Communicate all the time. God almighty, how much time do I talk about daily huddles? I talk about weekly get-togethers. I talk about monthly management meetings. I talk about quarterly away days and annual retreats where you bring the whole team down to the cleaner. And one of the reasons that James is successful is that in the years that we've known each other, however many years that is, 8 years, that he's always been a fantastic communicator with his team, but he's also created lots and lots of environments in which his team can communicate with each other. So there's always a conversation going on at Bow Lane about the future. How can we get a bigger future? And that conversation is taking place with everybody in the business. Measure everything. You've seen him measuring Google Analytics. You've seen him measuring SurveyMonkey. You've seen him measuring the hits on his website, the hits on his YouTube site. You've seen him measuring who's clicking on his Facebook page. They're measuring everything to the point of bloody distraction. And the reason that they're doing that is because it enables them to do precision marketing. And precision marketing is, number 1, cheaper, and number 2, more effective than just scattergun marketing. So you've got to have fabulous measurement systems. And then 10, Charles Darwin was a great business coach because he kind of figured it out that a species evolves through a process of continuous adaptation to circumstances. That's the essence of Darwinism. And I think the sooner Darwinism manifests itself in dentistry, there's a tweet, the better. Because you are in an environment of change. We've touched on some of that change today. And unless you continuously adapt to that change, you will become extinct. That's the bottom line.